Objective examination we have schemes. First is general inspection of the whole body, and then respiratory, cardiovascular, for GIT, hepatobiliary, renal system. For each of these systems, we have to follow a special scheme. First is inspection. Inspection of the corresponding region. And then palpation, percussion, auscultation. So inspection of the cardiovascular system. First is inspection, region of the heart. Cardiac humpback. Cardiac humpback is absent. Cardiac humpback is when you see any protrusion of the heart over the surface of the chest. Can you see any protrusion of the heart?
No.
Cardiac humpback is absent.
But
it
like,
is-
you know, usually in asthenic person you can see, right?
No, cardiac humpback is present. Absent in normal people. Present in case of congenital anomalies. For example, I don't know, any septal deformities or I don't know the example. I forgot the examples. It's congenital anomalies. Because it's been like more than a week since I did cardiovascular. Point of maximum impulse. Point of maximum impulse is the apex speed. For this, you have to stand first standing parallel to the patient and ask the patient to move to his left side. Sorry, to his right. Stand up. Can someone observe? Person or not? Someone. Oh, Sati camera. Observe for any pulsation. Can you see?
Oh, from lateral side.
Absence of
Dari tepi.
from first standing parallel, then lateral. So absence of stand up forward. Okay.
What was that?
Hmm?
Press what? Apex speed.
Apex speed. Point of maximum impulse. So apex speed is not visible. Next is cardiac beat. Cardiac beat. The reason is cardiac beat occurs due to right ventricle contraction. So you'll see, okay, right ventricle is projected. Does someone know the location?
What's that?
Tengok sini dia.
Epigastric, it transmits. Right ventricle. The localization of the right ventricle. Yeah, correct. Fourth and fifth intercostal space on the left side. Immediately next to the sternum. Left part of the sternum. Fourth and fifth intercostal space. Occurs due to contraction of the right ventricle. Usually it must be negative.
Okay, middleman.
Usually it must be negative. So for this you have to observe standing parallel to the patient. Cardiac beat is absent. Abnormal pulsation. Okay, abnormal pulsation. First is aorta. Where is the aorta present? Ascending aorta, to be more specific. Where is ascending aorta present? Ascending aorta.
On the left, on the right side. Second intercostal space.
No. Second intercostal space on the right side of the sternum. Okay, parasternal line maybe. Second intercostal space on the right side of the sternum. You have to observe any pulsation. Absent.
Not visible.
Aortic arch. Yeah, not visible. Aortic arch.
Not visible.
Pulmonary trunk. Where do you see pulmonary trunk pulsation?
Second intercostal space on the left edge of the
Left side of the sternum. Can you see any pulsation? So absence of aorta, absence of ascending aorta, absence of aortic arch, and absence of pulmonary trunk pulsation. Okay, these pulsations are not visible. Next is ventricular aneurysm, post-infarctive cardios. Left ventricular aneurysm you can see in third, fourth, and fifth intercostal spaces. There is no specific line. Third, fourth, and fifth intercostal spaces because that's where the left ventricle is present. You see that there is bulging over the area because of not hypotrophia. How do you say? Aneurysm. After infarct, the thing doesn't work. So what happens is during systole it contracts, right? Only this region of the heart doesn't contract if it's infarcted. It undergoes sclerosis later. So only this region of the heart doesn't. For example, this region is infarcted. It doesn't contract, but the rest of the heart contracts. So this remains inactive. That's when you see there's protrusion or bulging over the third, fourth, fifth intercostal spaces. Post-infarctive cardiosclerosis. Left ventricular aneurysm is not seen. This is all about the region of heart. Cardiac comeback, apex beat. After that, maximum impulse, apex beat, cardiac beat, abdominal pulsation, aorta, pulmonary trunk, aortic arch, ventricular aneurysm. That's it. Region of the neck. We go to region of the neck now. First, aortic arch pulsation. Again. Okay, aortic arch, the one which I told earlier, doesn't come under region of the heart. It comes at region of the neck. Aortic arch is present in the. Okay, aortic arch projection is in the jugular fossa. Can you see any pulsation? Absence of aortic arch pulsation. Sorry, aortic arch pulsation is not visible. Next is carotid arteries pulsation. Where are the carotid arteries present? The carotid arteries are present, you can say, anteriorly to the sternocleidomastoidous muscle, anterior margin of sternocleidomastoidous muscle. So it's very easy. Just find the sternocleidomastoidous muscle. Don't touch. Just inspect. Can you see any pulsation? Both sides. So absence of
No visible.
carotid arteries pulsation is not visible. Okay, important thing again. I told you earlier when we inspected the head, I told you absence of tremor, Demoset sign. Remember?
Absence
Okay.
of what?
Demoset sign, nodding of the head. That's one of the signs of
Aortic arch.
aortic what? Aortic what?
Aortic aneurysm.
No.
Liver.
Aortic regurgitation. Good. So there are 5 or 6 clinically important signs. 10, 12 signs, but these are the most important signs. One of the important signs is, in case of severe aortic regurgitation, is carotid shudder or dancing carotids, or one more name. Corrigan's pulse. The clinical name is Corrigan's pulse. When you see active pulsation, like throbbing pulsation over the region of the neck, severe aortic regurgitation. Because for each systole, blood is pumped in. For each diastole, there is sudden drop in pressure in the aorta. So it expands during systole, diastole, systole, diastole, systole, diastole, systole, diastole. Like the carotid artery will be dancing. This is called dancing carotid or carotid shudder. Clinically, it's called Corrigan's pulse. Corrigan's pulse is positive or negative? Negative. Next is engorgement of jugular veins. Jugular veins. Where are the projection of the jugular veins? The jugular veins are projected between the legs of the sternocleidomastoidous muscle. The sternocleidomastoidous muscle has usually 2 legs. One always has 2 legs. One is attaches to the sternum as a sternal leg. Other attaches to the clavicle. Between the legs of the sternocleidomastoidous muscle is the projection of the jugular veins. Can you see any visible pulsation? Or can you see jugular vein? Enlargement of jugular vein. Not engorgement of the jugular veins is absence. Next is jugular venous pulse. How do you check for jugular venous pulse? The patient must lie in a bed. I need a scale. Do you have a scale? Like a ruler, sorry.
Ruler.
Yes, sorry. The patient must lie. Where?
Where to lie?
Okay. Supine position. I'll explain you. Easier for you to understand if the patient lies.
Lie here.
The patient must lie, and the position of the head must be, position of the upper region must be 45 degrees. Lie down.
Lie down.
Wherever you want.
Okay,
like that. Okay, we need to elevate the region of the head at 45 degrees. Like that. No, 45 degrees. Again. Get up. Like. Okay, just imagine 45 degrees.
45 degrees, okay.
You have to put one end of the scale, like this is a 15 centimeters ruler. You have to put one end of the scale at the Ludovici angle. Ludovici angle. What is Ludovici angle? Ludovici angle is the place where the second rib is attached to the sternum. So there you see a prominence. It's actually the attach. You can also say it's attachment of the manubrium sternum with the corpus sternum. So you'll see a prominence. In asthenic people, it will be very visible. For him, it's here. Can you see? If he stands, it will be more visible. So you put one end of the scale here and the other end towards the projection of the between the legs of sternocleidomastoidous muscle. Projection of the jugular veins. Okay, get up a little bit. 45 degrees. Can you see any movement of the scale? Do you see the scale moving? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Where can you see the scale? The scale is not moving.
No.
If the jugular venous pulse is negative in this case. If
Okay.
the jugular venous pulse is positive,
Then it will be moving.
for every beat, like it will move like this.
Oh, okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
This is how you check jugular venous pulse. You don't need to put catheter, things like that. Jugular venous pulse is negative. So if the sign is positive,